I think the illicit use stuff is overblown. So one of the funniest things in the last 6 months has been this senator in West Virginia, Joe Manchin, decided to distinguish himself by writing a letter demanding the immediate banning of Bitcoin because it's used for all these illicit purposes. Jared Polis, who's a young congressman who's extremely sharp, wrote basically the exact same letter to the Treasury Department, basically calling for an immediate ban on the U.S. dollar. Using the exact same arguments, right? Which is you have this currency, you have this anonymous currency, the U.S. $100 bill, that can be freely transported all over the world without anybody's approval and can be used to buy, drugs and guns. And in fact, today is used to buy drugs and guns, at a million times the rate of any sort of online payment mechanism. The U.S. $100 bill is the enabling technology for worldwide crime and terrorism. I think, frankly, he had a pretty good point. And so I think it illustrates kind of this I use the term weird and scary. The new things just look weird and scary. And then, there's one idiot in, apparently Noe Valley, as it turns out, with an online drug thing or something, and then it becomes this enormously attractive story. But the illicit stuff turns out, it's a very sexy story at the time. It turns out to not be a very big part of it. The exact same thing happened in the early 90s with the internet. There was, if you read the coverage from sort of 1991 to 1994, it was story after story after story of child porn and this, and you could buy drugs, and it was just like this horror show. For God's sake, you wouldn't want to let your teenager go on this crazy internet thing, because who knows what would happen. I mean, it was just an endless litany of all the social ills that were going to come out of it as people were getting used to the idea of something new. And then, by 1995, 1996, everybody went, oh, this is actually pretty cool.